What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to be talking about myself a little bit because over the past year I have accomplished some sort of transformation.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Hey, that's pretty good.
I have lost over 50 pounds. I was probably 260 when I first started my transformation. I was probably around 260 when I started my transformation, and I'm now under 210. Fluctuates a little bit. Some days I'll be 210, some days I'll be down to like 207. But either way, I have lost over 50 pounds. Most of it being fat. I would say 90% of it is fat. Obviously, when you're losing weight and everything, you might lose muscle and some strength. But nonetheless, I just wanted to cover that, and I wanted to clarify how, because people ask me like, what did you do to lose the weight, to burn the fat off? And I usually dumb it down a lot. I just say, I worked out more and I ate less, right? Which is the general recipe for losing weight. Now, to clarify everything, I'm going to break it down
Let me break it down for you, Mordecai.
into three sections: the mindset, the diet, and the workouts. So to start off with the mindset, right? The mental game of losing weight is stay consistent. That is the first thing. If there's anything that I could say to somebody that wants tips on how to lose weight, it's stay consistent. And it's hard to stay consistent sometimes, I understand. It was hard for me. But the one thing that made it easier was knowing why. If you know why you want to lose the weight, you are going to stay consistent. And for me, personally, the reason why was every time I woke up and went to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, I was fat, ugly, unhappy, all of those things. I hated looking at myself in the mirror, and that motivated me more than anything. And one thing that actually did help a lot, that I will say is the third thing to the mental game of losing weight, is focus more on your body composition than what the scale says. I never stepped on a scale, not once. I stepped on a scale actually over the first 6 months of losing weight. I stepped on the scale maybe twice. Maybe twice. And that was over like months in between of stepping on the scale just to see where I was at. Stay away from the scale. Now, some people might like to step on the scale, might like to see where am I at right now, day by day, right? To see the little checkpoints, right, of the lowest that they've gone. But let me tell you this right now, losing weight is not a linear game. Losing weight and looking better and everything, the scale isn't going to consistently go down. It's going to go up sometimes, but the ups are definitely going to be less than where you started. I'm just going to say that. But those ups that you notice on the scale can be discouraging. That is going to suck to go on the scale when yesterday you were, say, 260 and then today you're 261. But the reason I say stay away from the scale is because you can't control some things like inflammation, water retention, bloating. You never know what temporary effects are going on inside of your body, maybe hormones that could be affecting your weight day by day. Now that covers the mindset, the mental part of losing weight. The diet is the next section that we're going to cover. And it's very simple. You have to be in a calorie deficit. Go to any macro calculator, any calorie calculator that you can find out what your maintenance calories are and then what your deficit looks like to lose however much you want every week, right? Do that, find out where you need to be and stay in that caloric deficit. For me, it was super easy because I was broke. We'll just say that, right? I was losing money every week. like I was so broke
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
I went to the store once every 2 weeks, bought like two 12 packs of chicken breast, some a loaf of bread, some peanut butter, jelly, bought some oatmeal, and then got some berries and Greek yogurt. And that was everything that I would get at the store. That would be my meals for the next 2 weeks. And it was super easy to be in a calorie deficit because of how broke I was. Now, when you have more options, it's harder. And for me, I was in such a high caloric deficit that the weight started coming off fast. It was probably super unhealthy, the rate at which I was losing weight. But at the end of the day, there's not much that I could do because I was buying my own groceries. I had to figure out the whole diet side on my own. And I knew the general idea of what I had to eat, in order to get enough protein, to get good vitamins, decent carbs. I knew what I had to do generally. And a very important thing of losing weight is swap a lot of stuff with protein. If you're eating a lot of carbs during the day, swap a lot of those carbs with protein foods. Like I said, it was super easy for me to do that because I didn't have the money or the resources to have like high carb meals, but eating a lot of protein is going to help lose weight and help recover those muscles from working out and everything like that. And believe it or not, having more muscle, building that muscle with the protein that you're eating actually helps burn the fat, because the more muscle you have, the more calories you expend in just day-to-day life. And that actually brings me to our macro timing. There is very specific timing that I like to use for when I eat most of my carbs for the day, and when I eat most of my protein for the day, when I eat my fats, all of that stuff. There is very specific timing for all of that I like to use in order to make sure I wasn't starving going to sleep, make sure I had enough energy for the day. And that was in the morning is when I would get maybe 70% of my carbs in for the day. Because the morning you haven't burned any calories, but you have all the calories to burn throughout the day. Of course, the FedEx truck is reversing all the way down the street for no reason. Bro, just walk. Can't stand these fools. Anyways, morning is when I would get my carbs, like some of my protein for the day. That's when I would have my berries, the Greek yogurt. Then I would go to work. Then I would work out, come back home. It would be like 9 o'clock at night by that point. For dinner, I would have chicken breast and some rice, maybe chicken and rice. The chicken breast, I would have a ton of chicken breast for at night. That's when I would get most of my protein in, to help my muscles recover after a long day of work and then working out. And then, the carbs, the little bit of rice that I had was just to help raise my insulin levels and go to sleep. So yeah, most of the carbs in the morning to help fuel you for your day, and then most of your protein at night to help you recover. Protein can't get stored as fat, right? So protein cannot be stored in your fat cells. That cannot be turned into glycogen to fill your fat cells. Protein has to be fully metabolized. That's why I ate more protein at night to help me recover. And in the metabolizing of the protein, you actually burn some calories. It's not a whole lot, but you burn some calories, more than you would if you ate more carbs. So that was my whole thought process with the macro timing, the food timing, all of that stuff. Now next, going into the workouts that I did. Obviously, the workouts are a big part of losing weight. For me, it was probably the most important thing Because listen, I already had a big kind of like a good foundation with working out. I had been working out for years already, mainly for football. And with football, with training for football, I got a big strength foundation and a good cardio foundation. And all of that stuff, right? Most people probably won't have. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this and you're like, okay, well, I didn't train for anything when I was younger, and I I've never gone on runs or was never really a cardio person. Don't spend a whole lot of time doing cardio or anything like that. Then take this with a grain of salt. I'll try to relate it to you, but I'm just saying what worked for me. So the main thing that I did differently when I really started dedicating myself to losing weight was I did more cardio. I hated cardio growing up. Fun fact, I got really fat like in third grade. That's when I started like really having a lot of pudge on me. And since then, like running around and stuff, I've always hated it. Running was the antithesis of everything that I was since third grade. So I got fat in third grade. Then in eighth grade, I grew a lot to like 6'3", and I was somewhat skinny, but still hated running, right? Then freshman through senior year, I was just trying to get big for football, which added up to me being kind of overweight and hating running. Yeah, fast forward a year, I am maybe 260. I think I was almost 270. I mean, look at this fool. I'm gonna show you a picture of me when I first started, okay? I think that this person was 270, 270 pounds, 6'5". I was big, and I kind of don't remember where I was going with this. But anyways, my body was not used to cardio. And the one thing that really motivated me to get into cardio and start running more was big shout outs to Cody Ko. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of him, but when he started training for Australia Ironman, I was watching his Cody Trains videos. He just made running look like such a great time. Whenever he was running, it was always, oh man, I love the outdoors. Like, look at this beautiful view. He would be running along the beach. He'd be like, man, look at this beach while he's running. And he'd just be thinking of these positive things. He'd make running look like such a positive mental workout, right? And I was like, I want to feel like that. So in the middle of the winter, I started running. More. I ran around the block at my dad's house, which added up to around 2.2 miles. I didn't run before. I never ran more than half a mile when I was warming up for a workout or something. So jumping straight into 2.2 miles is something I wouldn't recommend for a random, never worked out a day in their life. The only reason I think I was able to do it is because I spent the past 6 years training for football, which involved a lot of running. Even though I was dead, I wouldn't say it was detrimental. Getting your heart healthy with running and cardio and getting your resting heart rate down is so beneficial for everything, because then all the fat surrounding your liver, your kidneys, your lungs, your heart, everything, all of the internal organs, all the fat around there is broken down, and all of it gets to run smoothly. And when you're losing weight, your internal organs running smooth is the most important thing. Getting my cardio straight, huge. Next thing, in my weight training workouts, I would try to engage my core as much as possible. Now, with things like bench press, seated rows, anything where you're sitting down, like the seated pec deck, those are great for building a foundation and then also targeting and isolating muscle groups for like bodybuilding, right? But when you're trying to lose weight, I would recommend staying away from machines. Get some dumbbells in your hands, right? Because those force you to engage your core so that you're not doing all of this while you're pressing and stuff. It forces you to engage your core, and the more you engage your core, the more intense your workout feels and the more calories you burn because of it. One thing that people don't ever really talk about, I don't ever see people talk about this, is how important your core like engaging your core while your workout is. If you're doing seated rows and you can breathe perfectly fine the entire time, you don't have to tense up or brace your core. If you don't have to, if you don't even have to use like a Valsalva maneuver, then chances are you're not maximizing the amount of calories that you could be burning because you're not upping the intensity. So that's a tip that I would say. If you want to burn the most amount of calories while you're working out, choose workouts that make you engage your core. And one thing that actually really helped with having to engage my core and burning calories was calisthenics. One of the biggest reasons why I love calisthenics is because of how great it is for just having intensity in your workouts. You can't do a seated whatever, anything in calisthenics. Everything is body weight. Everything you have to balance, you have to control, your core has to be engaged for everything. There's not one singular calisthenics movement where you don't have to engage most of your body. Think about it. Pull-ups, you have to engage your core, your lats, your grip, some of your biceps. Push-ups, you have to engage your core, your chest, your triceps, your shoulders, a little bit of your glutes, and lats. You have to engage so much stuff when you're doing calisthenics, and that's why I love it. So if you can, I would definitely recommend looking into calisthenics. It's a great workout. And the last part of the exercise section, there's this term called NEAT, right? If you watch these science-based lifters, anybody like Will Tennyson, Greg Doucette, all these guys, right? You've probably heard of the term NEAT, but NEAT means non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And basically what that means is things like getting up from the couch, walking to your car, picking up your laundry basket, putting away the dishes. All those things burn calories, but they're not structured workouts. Like for me, it was great that I lived with my dad and I was working with my uncle in construction, right? So I had a lot of NEAT throughout the day. I was working 5 to 6 days in construction, and then also I was helping my dad take care of his horses, which all of those burned a ton of calories. And then when I would go shopping, I would park further away from the store so that I could go, so I could get a little more walking in. All of those things add up throughout the day. It adds up so much. You get so many more steps. You burn so many more calories throughout the day. You have to consciously add more NEAT into your life. Non-exercise activity, you have to add more. If you go to work, sit at a desk all day, then go work out after work, and then go home and sit around and play video games, you're not burning a whole lot of calories throughout the day. If that's your schedule, then you can't go home and play video games. Sorry. Save video games for the weekend. Just do something. Don't sit around all day playing video games, because that is probably slowing you down. But yeah, anyways, that's everything that I could think of that helped me. Obviously, I'm not like an expert on any of this. I've told you guys before, I'm getting my certification in personal training, and I have learned a lot about this recently. But I didn't know any of this when I was losing weight. When I started losing weight, I didn't know any of this. I had a pretty vague idea on how to build muscle and how to build strength. I had a pretty vague idea on all that stuff, but now that I have this knowledge from working on my certification with personal training and stuff, now that I have this knowledge, it's so much easier to like break it down.
Let me break it down for you, Mordecai.
I'm glad that I have this knowledge so that I'm able to share it, and hopefully I can help people figure out, maybe I need to go on a run more, right? Maybe I need to start lifting more weights because muscle burns calories. Last thing that I would say is just have fun with it. In the world of losing weight, it's generally not fun. One thing that I did that helped me have fun with it was finding a workout method that I enjoyed, like calisthenics, boxing, right? Finding people that I admired, that I wanted to be like, right? Chris Heria for calisthenics, Cody Ko with the running and the cardio. All of that helped. So find a way to have fun with it. Don't focus so much on the small details of like, am I doing this exercise correct? Am I eating at the right time of day? You know, just make sure you're eating the right stuff. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to share that information with you guys. Hopefully it was able to help somebody out there that listened to this. If any of you guys like have any type of content that you guys want to see, any information that you guys want me to dive into that I could possibly give you some helpful advice or tips and tricks on, please leave that in the comments down below. You know, I really love making informational videos like this, like the breakdown style type videos. I'm going to make some more workout videos soon. My schedule is so weird. Like, I genuinely don't know when I'm gonna have time. Like, this was just kind of a on a whim type of video. Yeah, like I said, leave a comment down below if you have an idea or if you want to give me some feedback on what you think about what I said today. Hit the like button, subscribe, please. It means a lot, and I really appreciate it. I really do. Anyways, yeah, hope you guys learned something. Love y'all. Bye.